Hey, how are you doing? Welcome to the reading. I hope you're doing great. I hope you've had a good day. Today we're tackling a topic which I love, which is the inner child. We're going to be doing a reading about our inner child. We're going to be splitting it into two sections each reading. It's going to be both about messages from our inner child as well as pro tips from spirit and just ourselves so as to better connect with our inner child on a daily basis. So that's really something I'm looking forward to. And if that's something that you're excited about as much as I am, well, make yourself comfortable, make yourself at home. You already know the jazz. Before we move on, I just want to mention that I've opened some spots on my website when it comes to personal readings if you're interested in that. So yeah, if you want to look it up, the link is in the description. That being said, let's get into it. So today we got three groups to be choosing from, and as you may be able to tell, we got some Pokemons on the table because that's what my inner child finds to be playful. So that's why we got them. So you can choose based off the crystals, based off the Pokemons. In the description box where the timestamps are, I'm only going to be posting about the crystals. For group number 1, we're going to have the clear quartz. Group number 2 is going to be the Shungite pyramid. Group number 3 is going to be the yellow calcite. And as always, I'm going to be asking you to tune into your intuition so as to feel whichever part you feel the most drawn to, you feel the most drawn towards, which is going to be the one holding the information that you're meant to be hearing right now, okay? Once you've made your choice, take your time to make your choice, by the way. A few deep breaths does help. Once you've made your choice, you can use the timestamps provided down below to jump directly to your reading, and I'm going to be seeing you there, okay? For the ones who are curious, that's the first Pokemon for pile number 1. That's the second one. I definitely should have put more on the table, now that I think about it. That's the third one, okay? I'm gonna move on to group number 1. If you haven't made your choice, totally fine. Just pause the video, okay? I'm gonna be seeing you there. Hey there, pile number 1. How are you doing? I hope they're doing good. If you chose the clear quartz, that's going to be your reading. And so we're going to get right into it when it comes to what is it that your inner child wants you to know, first and foremost. And then, as I was saying in the introduction, we're going to be switching to what are some tips so as to tune into your inner child when it comes to you, okay? How to embrace this. I feel invited to mention that in this context, the inner child refers to, when we name it this way, the inner child refers to the part of us which holds all the characteristics that we would associate with being childish. So that means playfulness, curiosity, joy, more often than not, creativity, all of the things that make you feel like a kid. Obviously, you understand that if these traits of yours are things that you completely own and enjoy every single day, then there is no such thing as an inner child. You're just whole, right? So when I say inner child, that's the energies I'm referring to, okay? I just want to put a little bit of context. What does your inner child want you to know, as in, for those who are wanting to experience even more of these energies, of this eternal youth that exists within us, what is it that wants to be known? One thing that I love is the appearance of the Fool card, which is literally depicted as, guess what, a child here, so I like it. in this tarot deck, is depicted as a little kid, as a like a literal baby, so that's one, a little bit of a wink that I enjoy. There is, I'm gonna be referring to as your inner child, okay? Now that I've explained what it is, your inner child really has some amazing stuff to be sharing with you. And I'm just gonna assume that if you're here on this reading today, is because all of us who are here on this reading today can be enjoying even more of that, so to speak. I'm tuning into the little kid. It's funny because this inner child that I'm tapping into is both feminine and masculine in its appearance. It's very like, it genuinely doesn't care about a gender, which you would say is quite normal coming from a child. But on the other end, as I explained, we're not talking about a literal child, okay? If you catch my drift. So that's a funny thing that we have both like feminine and masculine qualities coming through. One of them is just the fact we got High Priestess and the Full. We got three major arcanas, by the way. So High Priestess, Full Destiny card is just giving me this energy of your inner child wanting to communicate with you, wanting to reunite with this inner knowing, not understanding, knowing that everything will be good. And that's generally something that I feel very powerful. I'm feeling like it's really something that you need to sit with for a moment to actually catch what it means and all the depth of what it entails. Because it's like everything will be all right. It's not just a funny mantra to repeat. It is true. And it is one of the truths that exists within you. That's what I'm getting. It's this, I'm getting this beautiful, to say the least, beautiful energy of someone. I just see like a little kid with the sparkly eyes looking at the world, being like, oh my god, whoa, that's so exciting. We're going on to an adventure. There isn't even the shadow of a doubt, the shadow of a fear here. And this, like, it's excitement, it's curiosity that I'm picking up. But the funny thing is that we got like the High Priestess coming through here. We got the Fool card, we got also the Destiny. So it's like, yes, there's this energy of excitement, everlasting wonder and excitement that can be considered foolish by a mind which grew up to identify as an adult and now believes it isn't a kid of the universe anymore. In our society, would be very tempted to describe these very pure frequencies as naive, as foolish. But the cards that we got here, they're anything but that. The Fool card totally does refer to this initial curiosity, and there's definitely a lot of that. But what we have here, like bordering the reading left and right, High Priestess and Destiny are both cards which are just like creating a frame. I can tune into this sphere of the reasons why this energy, this energy of never-ending excitement and curiosity and just let's go on an adventure because that's just what I want to do and I want to travel all around the world and discover everything, is just an overexcitement about just being alive, can feel scary, can be repressed because it feels scary to the degree that it feels like, yeah, okay, you're exciting, but what about practical life? What about safety measures? What about the framing? You know, it's like, it's beautiful to have a kid just wanting to go explore the world. It's better if they are like safeguarded by their parents, so to speak. And that's the energy that is coming through. We got the High Priestess, we got the Destiny High Priestess, which directly relates to internal guidance system, which is here telling me you can trust yourself. This everlasting excitement. I'm also feeling a lot of energy for those who may have grown up feeling a little like low on energy, tired and things like that. There's a lot of energy there too. And what I'm picking up is like you have a pretty strong and acute and accurate internal guidance system. Your intuition is through the roof when we got the High Priestess. And so there is within you this very mature soul which is always guiding you. That's what I'm hearing. So this fear of, oh my god, but what if I get into trouble? It's not gonna happen. That's what you're asked to realize. And even if things look the way that you wouldn't prefer them to, you have to understand that there's a reason behind it. There's this, I'm picking up on this sort of fear of, yeah, but what if I get myself into trouble because I feel like there's nothing safeguarding me. And that's what I'm picking up is like, it cannot happen by definition. You're way too intuitive for this kind of shit. You're way too intuitive to get yourself into these actual troubles. Whenever you find yourself in a trouble, it's because you're growing and learning. It is serving you, it is benefiting you, it is something that you could not have understood nor learned without going through such experience. The mistake was necessary. Is it trouble then? Is it an actual mistake then? No, it's not. It's a framing issue that we are running into here, and that's one of the things that the inner child wanting to communicate is like there's so much power, so much wonder, so much curiosity, so much excitement, so much energy coming through here, but there is the calling to tune and integrate these aspects of you, your faith, your knowing that everything will be all right, your knowing that you are a kid of this universe and that you are safeguarded by God itself, and also the fact that you are far from being stupid and are very intuitive. You are safe, clearly. 6 and 7 of Wands, definitely making me feel like your inner child is really wanting to shine bright as it is. It is very unapologetic in nature. It wants to claim the spotlight. It wants to be on the scene, which is something which may feel terrifying to some. It's like, oh my god, I don't feel comfortable when people are staring at me. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Your inner child is all about the opposite. Your inner child loves the spotlight. And in fact, that may be one of the reasons to why, even though you don't like it, you end up catching the spotlight whether you want it or not. The spotlight chases you, so to speak. And that's really what I'm picking up is like, the inner child wants to be proud, wants to show itself. It wants to show off. There's this energy of showing off too. He wants to be unapologetic. He wants not to give an F about what other people think. It's not here for that. Your inner child is here to shine bright, and so are you. And that's the thing, is like what we were discussing at the beginning is like, I'm talking about inner child, inner child, inner child. That's just you. You know? Deep down, you want to be on the spotlight. You want to be the head turner because you already are. It's just a matter of accepting it, being okay with it. I just find it's like these energies are so beautiful, but they may feel challenging depending on what's our story, you know? We may have a bit of trauma relative to being seen, and it may feel safer to play it small, things like that. It's like your inner child is like, yeah, I understand, but nope. I'm not gonna be happy until I claim the spotlight, which is what you're here for. Okay, we don't see the cards. There we go. Pro tips from the inner child so as to embody these energies more. The intention with this bottom row of cards is really to set the ball into motion, and if it feels uncomfortable, if it feels triggering, well, that's better because it's showing you where the resistance is then by that point, okay? The first thing is like celebrate your wins with the rooster just below the 6 of Wands. Is like there is this energy of wanting to show off, and some of you, I'm getting with the High Priestess and the Destiny card, I'm tuning into the energy that you, Panama One, may very much be old souls. It's like you're very wise. A lot of you are spirit, would define themselves as spiritual. It's like you have a lot of respect for people and your heart is very pure, and you understand that showing off is very much an ego thing, and that's not necessary. But here is very much the thing is like, yeah, but the ego, that's the human part of you. If the ego didn't have a place, if the human that you are didn't have a place on this world, well, guess what? You wouldn't be here. The ego has a very bad reputation in the spiritual realm because it tends to, like, you know, do its things. But here it's like, you don't need to go to a fair and have fun and go onto a roller coaster. If you do that, it's not for the sake of being or not spiritual, it's just for the sake of having fun. And that's what I'm really getting here, is like, I don't see you showing off for the sake of making other people envious or just for the sake of seeking revenge over someone else. No, I'm just getting here, you showing off because it's fun. It's a very playful energy that I'm getting here, and this distinction needs to be made because there's genuinely part of you that wants to show off, that wants to play it cool for no reason other than the fact that it's fun. And also more literally celebrate your wins. It's like, please take the time to honor how amazing you are, because again, these are not futile words. They're not futile words. It's true, you are amazing. You have done a lot of things. You have You are a freaking dope human being. Can you please take the time to see it for yourself, though? That's one thing. Another thing is like being okay. Change maker makes wave. Success in transformation is like being okay, not making sense to other people. There's a part of us here that may feel comfortable in trying to people please. There's still a bit of this lingering energy. Most of you are not very much interested in that anymore, but there's still a bit of this lingering energy. It's like, yeah, but I still would like to. It's like, if I can, why wouldn't I make people like me? Which is totally fair. It's okay. But here you're invited to just make it. It's like, you're weird, well, rock, you're weird. Weird, you're weird. You're meant to be weird. You're meant to be unique. You being weird is just you accepting who you are. Everyone's different, everyone's unique. And another thing is like, accept and receive. What do you really want? It's just like, I'm generally seeing, like, with what we just mentioned, celebrate your wins, these cards here, accept and receive. What do you really want? I'm just getting like the sensation of you being asked to be honest with yourself about who do you genuinely want to be. Once we've set all the noise out of the window and all the people's expectations of you, is like, what is that you genuinely want? Besides it all, at the end of the day, what is it that you genuinely want? What is it that you genuinely are? And start honoring that. Yeah, perhaps considering these things may feel a little triggering and a little challenging. That's good. That's showing you right there. That's where you're holding on to limiting beliefs, which isn't true. That's why you're holding yourself accountable to a lie, to someone else's lie. But that's not true. It's time to get out of that. Because I genuinely see that you will fall in love with your story. That just sums it up, in my opinion. It's like, there is so much to be loved about you. And when I mean you, I mean everything that makes you up. Your soul, but not only, your body, your heart, your mind, your ego, everything. There's so much to be loved here. There is so much beauty, so much light, so much abundance. And I just feel like the more you release the resistance and just accept yourself for who you are, and you just end up surrendering to your genuine desires, surrendering to what you genuinely want to look like, surrendering to how you want to perform, if that's a thing which is coming, like literally being on stage, on scene. The more you do that, the more you will realize how beautiful you are. The more you will inevitably, without even realizing it, be falling in love with yourself. So that is just so beautiful and so sweet. I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy for you. Thank you so much, Pal Number One, for being here with me today. That was a lovely reading, very inspiring one to say the least, to kick this reading, this video off. So yeah, I feel so grateful because your energy is just so good. I just feel like, yeah, perhaps we may be going through a bit of, there may be a bit of self-doubt. We may be holding ourselves accountable to some old lies. There's just so much that is yet to be tapped. It's like the best is yet to come, honestly, and that's just so exciting to tune into this energy. So yeah, I hope this was useful. I hope it inspired you. And yeah, while you're at it, please like the video and subscribe. Please let me know down in the comments as well. I almost forgot that. It's like, I want to know how you're doing. How is it going? I'd love to know. And yeah, I'm gonna be seeing you in my next video. Right now I'm gonna be moving on to part number 2. So have a good day, have a great time. Bye. Hey there, part number 2, how are you doing? Welcome to the reading. If you chose the Shungite pyramid, that's gonna be a reading. That's the little Pokemon. If you wanted to see it, like it very much. Now let's get to it. So as I was saying in the introduction, we're going to be splitting the reading in 2 parts. The first one being like messages from the inner child, from our inner child, from this place of us which is always also youthful, inspired, excited about life. And then we're going to be turning into like the oracle cards, which are going to be revealing us like what are things that we can be doing daily to help us set the ball into motion, tap into these energies more. So let's see. Oh, that's interesting. There are a few things. First of all, your inner child is definitely asking you to take the time to release some pain. There is like Seven of Swords deals with betrayal. I'm gonna just say it. I'm just gonna say it straight up. Betrayal, feelings of abandonment, um, things like that. So there may be emotions, backed up experiences, some little traumas going on there, and the inner child is definitely asking like, there are these things, you are aware of them to a certain extent. Would you please take the time for yourself to make space for yourself, take time for yourself and love yourself so as to let go of these things because it's heavy and it doesn't serve you anymore? Would you? That's definitely a request coming through right here, right now. Obviously, everyone's different, so you know your stuff better than anyone else, and you know what these emotions may be referring to. But yeah, there's just the desire of just lightening a little bit the load. These past experiences are not serving you anymore, so it's just time to let them go. And in continuation with that, we got like the Seven of Wands, which is definitely indicating me like the desire to just be yourself. They may have been, I'm hearing like over adaptation. However, it's relevant in your life. And I'm picking up the sensation of like having become an expert of like camouflage, being a chameleon, being able to adapt to everyone around us, being able to, yeah, just adapting. And there is the request here too to just stop that. Releasing the emotions which may lead us into feeling unsafe, so and coping with that whole situation through over adapting. But ultimately it's like your nature is just like, I'm gold and I, I just want to shine for who I am, so I don't want to have to hide. Like, no more hiding, no more adapting. You're perfect just like you are. It's time to show that to the world. And the people who don't like that, well, it will just be a confirmation that it was much needed, that it's long overdue. Yeah, it's just the desire to just shine bright unapologetically, and if people don't like it, well, that's good. It means that you're clearing out the people who are not aligned. Besides that, King of Cups and the Tower card, your inner child is just, I just tune into like a child who is very relaxed. I just feel that at heart you're not the kind of person who's like very much of a do go person. You very much enjoy, you could be enjoying that sometimes, but I also feel like moments of relaxation, of just spending time with friends and family, leisure time, playtime are quite important and should not be neglected. All the things that adults would judge as not productive, careful with the definition of not productive, okay? Because a human being is not a robot, you're not a machine, you're not meant to be productive in this life. You're here to have a great life. That's all. If you living your best life means being super active and doing 1,000 things a day, then good. If it's what feels inspiring to you, though, do you get the difference? It's not a question to not, it's not a calling to not be productive. That's what I'm getting at. That's not the point, is be careful not to overwork yourself, because I just feel like you may be very prone to burnout as a result, as a consequence. If you don't honor this truth of yours, you could very easily step into burnout, I feel. Because I just seen you like having slow mornings, having your own little routines, valuing a lot like quality time with family and friends. I just feel like that's very, very important. And that's generally something that makes you feel good and happy and rejuvenated, something that charges you up. So, very, very important. I'm tuning into a lot of calmness, a lot of relaxation here. And funny thing, just right next to the Tower card, I just feel like the inner child is also like a bit of a troublemaker. Not in a bad way. Not as in someone who wants to mess with the world. Absolutely not. But as in someone who loves to who quickly gets bored of stagnant energy, who quickly gets, who has a very low tolerance threshold to stuckness, which is inherently good, just means that you are that much more likely to be changing rapidly, whatever area of your life is concerned, to just be quickly and always evolving, which is best. Honestly, means that you're growing always, that you're never like, yeah, staying stuck or stagnant in one place. I just feel like your inner child grows tired and quite angry at these kinds of energies quite quickly. That's also something that wants to be honored. I just feel like sometimes you just have some what appears like random impulsive thoughts of just let's flip all the tables over, and I just feel like it would definitely benefit you from doing that from time to times somehow. Again, it's not in the intention of messing with anyone. I really don't feel like that's you. But definitely like wanting to not always be super organized, not always having it, not always having to be like a machine that's coming through again. Just allowing yourself to be alive. That's what I'm tuning into. So that is some very profound things coming through. Now, oh, I love the colors on these ones. Let's see what we can do to set the ball into motion to embrace these energies some more on the daily. We got straight off the bat the colorless card, Creator Water, which is definitely reminding me of the King of Cups. Again, there is the need, an absolute need of yours to make space for yourself, for your flow, because I just feel like this is something that is intrinsically tied to your energy field. Everyone's anatomy is unique. Yes, we all have two arms, we all have two legs. Our heart, our minds have their main functions being the same for every single human. Our energy fields have, our energy bodies have like the same structures. We all have chakras, we all have nerves, we all have these things. How they operate as a whole, however, it's never the same from one individual to another. Some people feel inspired and charged up when they are acting, while others feel like they're charging up when they're resting, when they're spending time with friends. Some people feel inspired and charged up when they're around people who are motivating. Some people feel inspired and charged up when they're acting on a passion. But you understand that if it's the latter, as just as an example, if it's passion that drive, if your driving engine is passion, you understand that passion is very much like water. It's the opposite of a machine. It goes, then it stops, then it changes direction. It's very fluid, which is beautiful. But it needs to be honored, and that's what I'm getting at. Is like I'm just tuning into the fact, if it's such a profound request of the inner child, I'm just tuning into the fact of someone who has just wanted to make themselves fit into a mold which is just not made for them at all. Like someone who's just expecting themselves to be working 10 hours straight without taking a pause and doing something that they hate doing. It's like I just feel like this misalignment here on how you genuinely function. And there's definitely here a request because I'm tuning into a lot of water, a lot of fluid energy. And so holding such a rigid schedule could be the worst nightmare of someone who is operating based off the water element. So there's definitely a call to self-explore and be honest with yourself. What is it that brings you energy? How do you function? Please stop comparing yourself to others, because others do not function the way you do. Everyone functions differently. Yes, you will find similarities with other people, but you'll never find someone just like you. There's only one. So that requires a little bit of introspection, a little bit of honesty. What is it that drives you? What is your driving engine? Please see that, honor that. And one tip here is there's definitely the need to recognize that your driving engine feels like water. It's very much fluid. throw a rock in it and the water will flow around it. That's not, your driving engine doesn't seem to be like a bulldozer. So again, request to honor that. Another thing, in the continuity of that, lead your metamorphosis, find your sacred flow, overrate your intuition. Your past is like, all of these cards are really making me, sending me back to this metaphor of a river, of you being like a river who is wanted for the longest time in their lives to be like a concrete road. It's like this river was so sad because it has always been wanted to be a concrete road on which cars can go, because everyone told the river that if you want to be accepted, if you want to be loved, if you want to be praised, you have to be a concrete road. And so the river now is sad because it just isn't. Comes by a few hikers and you will realize that no, rivers tend to be much more valued than concrete roads lately. So that's very much what I'm picking up here is like, there's the need for you to rediscover yourself, to rediscover who you are, your flow. How do you flow with life? And it may not be how you may have been living your life so far, and that may be one of the reasons to why you may have felt exhausted, burned out, as we were discussing earlier, just like having a lot of tension, and reasons to why creativity, excitement, inspiration, and these kind of things may have been lacking a little bit for some of you. I'm definitely feeling, because that's simply because of the fact that you haven't allowed the river to be a river, basically. You've been forcing a river to be a concrete road. Well, I'm sorry, it's not going to work very well for you. That's very much what I'm getting here. Finding your sacred flow, finding how you function, realizing that your intuition is strong, is like, yeah, you do not function like a concrete road. The river changes shapes, forms, depending on its environment. It changes direction as needed. It can split off, it can branch off, and then come back, but it will always find its ocean. How does it know how to find its ocean? It trusts gravity. It just knows that it will find its destination. That's just what I'm getting here. It's like, yeah, you are very fluid, but it doesn't mean that it's anything less of a concrete road. It just means that you are built different. You have different tools, which just so happens to miraculously, very coincidentally, be perfect for the kind of person that you are. You are a very fluid person, the kind of person who can change direction very, very quickly. And truth be told, you have an excellent intuition, an excellent internal compass to go along with it. Not being scared of these changes, to whenever you get mad because you feel stuck, feeling like you need to put a change, go with it. That's gonna feed you, that's gonna fuel you up. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm picking up here for you, pile number 2. Thank you so much for extra space with me today. This one was much deeper, a little more intense, but I just feel like very much needed too. So I just see that there's so much energy, but the inner child is just asking you for a genuine talk with the self, like you to sit down with yourself, taking that time, making that space, taking that space to just be honest with yourself on how you want to live your life going forward. And once you do that, oh my god, things will start opening up for you. So yeah, I'm genuinely excited for you, but I feel like, yeah, you're gonna have to have this serious talk with yourself. By the way, little thing which is crossing my mind, if you don't do that, what about trying to talk to yourself in the mirror? Some of you might be surprised about how funny it is, actually, when it comes to sorting out these kind of things with yourself. Yeah, mirror talk. So yeah, thank you so much. I'm gonna be moving to pile number 3. In the meanwhile, please let me know down in the comments how it went for you. Did it resonate? Did it hit the spot? I feel like it did. I would love to know if it was like insightful. And while you're at it, please like the video and subscribe. That support me a lot. That being said, I'm gonna leave you off with that one. Bye. Hey there, pile number 3. How are you doing? Welcome to the reading. If you chose the yellow calcite, that's gonna be your reading, so we're gonna get right into it. That being said, that's the little Pokemon for your pile. take a good look at it. Okay. Enough looking, let's get to it. So, as I was saying, mentioning to the other groups, we're splitting this reading into two parts. We have first the tarot for general messages from our inner child, and then we're going to have a few oracle cards for us to what kind of things we're being invited to act on, what kind of action steps we can take to embody more these kinds of frequencies. So yeah, I'm gonna get into it. So the Lovers, the Star card, the Queen of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, Five of Wands. What does the inner child wants you to know? And that's interesting. We have a lot of... The inner child just wants itself to be known. I just feel like the kind of energy I'm getting here is like, we're gonna start describing the cards one by one, but I'm getting like a full, almost like a panorama of your inner child, which is almost, I would say, almost like all of the desires that reside within you. We got the Lover's card, just Lover's energy, the energy of wanting to be in love, the energy of love, wanting to be in love with oneself, in love with others, in friendships, romantic love, wanting to be in love with life, with the experience, with the world. That's definitely a thing. If the idea of loving the world and letting yourself be loved by the world feels a little triggering, well, good news, that trigger is indicating you where there might be resistance. What are the beliefs in the way? What are the experiences that may be in need of being released? That's what I'm hearing. But there's so much love within you, and the deep longing to experience this love throughout all the different areas of your life, starting with the relationship that you have with yourself. The Star card, I love this card. This is really sending me back to the energy of excitement, knowing that we cannot fail when it comes to reaching our dreams. We cannot not reach our dreams. It's not possible. It's not possible. It's not a thing. It's like we will reach our dreams one way or another. We may not know how nor when, but we know it's going to happen with certainty. And it's just such an exciting, empowering energy, just an energy of awe in life. And just look at like the card itself. It's just like you see a woman smiling, almost dancing in the night, having the best time of her life. That's very much the energy I'm receiving here, is like just excitement and empowerment. Not knowing how it's going to happen doesn't mean that we don't know that it is going to happen. We know it's going to happen, just not how nor when. Queen of Swords, very powerful and apologetic energy coming through here. You didn't come to this world to play small. You didn't come to this world to people please. Definitely not. There is this drive. But what I like about like the Queen of Swords is like it's masculine characteristics, but with a feminine energy, which I very much love, because we got like both going on at this point. There is drive, there is determination, there are big dreams, big goals, but also this lightheartedness with the Star card. There is a lot of determination, but there isn't this energy of like pushing or paddling upstream. There is more of this flowing energy. We're flowing downstream, but we know what we want. Seven of Pentacles is giving me this energy of just wanting to enjoy the material comfortableness of life. Just being in a nice environment, having a nice home, having your nice car, having the nice people around, eating some nice food, kind of like comfortableness, luxury for those who are interested in that, which may not be the case of everyone, but I'm getting this. And the Five of... That's a funny one. The Five of Wands, generally it's like associated with competition, and this energy of like battling to some extent. But here I'm really getting this energy of, especially with the Queen of Swords, is you know you're freaking amazing and you enjoy playing with others because you know that anyways you cannot lose because of how good you are. You're just too good for this kind of stuff. The one very specific example I'm picking up on is like someone enjoying flirting with people, and you enjoy flirting as a form of play, not because you're in a competition with other people, not because you are chasing something or you're trying to get a person, but just because you enjoy the play, because you anyways know that there is nothing to lose, that you already won, so to speak. There is no place for failure. This word doesn't even appear within the mind of your inner child. It's just fun and playing with other people, whereas other people feel like they're in a competition, that they have to struggle to get there. No, you're just having fun all the way through. All of these energies is very much, what I'm getting is like, yes, there are masculine energies of wanting to play. We had a bit of flirty energy coming through, determination, drive, being very clear on our dreams, on our goals, and I'm getting like big goals, wanting, like all the best that life can offer. But at the same time, it's coming from such a pure intention, the intention of love, the intention of lightheartedness, of curiosity, of excitement. So beautiful combo. And that's the energy. I just feel like I've just described what your inner child today is about. So that's the whole thing somehow is relevant for you. I'm not picking up exactly why. I'm not picking up the full picture right now. But I just feel like it's important for you to see it within yourself. Oh, perhaps some of you may feel disconnected from this thing. Is like talking about flirty energy, talking about love, talking about just feeling just about playing and having fun, playing your way to your dreams and just having fun all the way through. Perhaps some of these things may feel a little uncomfortable. As we were discussing at the beginning, I'm remembering, we were discussing about perhaps some of you needing to let go of some stuff, whatever it is, to allow yourself to embody this kind of energy. We're talking about like luxurious lifestyle, like financial wealth, a lot of it, a lot of comfort. I just feel like there's the need for you to recognize it within you. This is not things which are being said because they are nice to hear. This is what you desire. This is what you came here for. So you can resist it for as long as you want. It's just gonna hurt, because at the end of the day, it's not like an option. It's not a luxury. It's just who you are. Do you catch my drift? I'm really getting that there's a need for you to recognize it within yourself. And wherever it feels, we feel that the heart pulls back, it feels tight, that may be worth investigating. That is interesting. When it comes to what actions we can do, right on cue. That's Chords of Death. It's like, yep, that's like literally what we just said, basically. This card is literally saying it's time to cut ties with some old stuff. As I'm recording this video, I'm also posting a reel about that, about just the period that we're currently experiencing on Instagram, if you're interested, on my Instagram account. But it's like, as I'm posting this video, we're going through a moment where there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of chaos unfolding, and all of these kind of things that we are invited to let go of, they're just being thrown in our face, which is intense. On one hand, it's pretty intense, yeah, but it's an absolutely goddamn amazing and exciting opportunity, because the work is that much more easy. We don't have to figure it out. It's literally being presented to us on a silver platter. And it's very much what I'm tuning into, is like, yeah, what can you do to more fully step powerfully into these beautiful energies which are so natural to you, yet so exciting? Well, it may be time to cut some cords. Why does your heart, and I'm having like my ear is ringing as I'm saying this, so yeah, that's double confirmation. Where is your heart pulling back? Where do you feel like it's getting tight in your chest, in your belly? It's like, I like it, but it feels very uncomfortable. It's hard for me to imagine myself having this kind of life. It's okay. Just realize that this is where your attention is needed. Because as hard as it may be for you to imagine it, this is what you're built for. So you're not going to feel happy until you get there. This is your natural habitat, if you want it. It's like, yeah, a whale can feel as unworthy as it wants about it having the blissful experience of living in the ocean. That's what it's made for. It's not made to live in an aquarium. If you put a whale in an aquarium, likely it's going to get depressed, if anything. Why? Because it's not made. Living in an aquarium, the whale may end up thinking that it's not worthy of living in the ocean. Well, I'm sorry, little whale, that's what you were made for. It's normal you're unhappy. Do you get what I mean? It's like you may feel as unworthy as you want about this thing. It's like you're not going to find peace until you allow yourself to get it. That's what you're made for. That's your natural habitat. It is waiting for you. It wants you much more badly than you want it, I'm hearing. So you're not making anyone a favor by refusing these things. But enough said about that. That's one thing. Over your intuition. This card is popping up a lot today. You know your shit better than anyone. I'm hearing like you value a lot what the environment has to say about how to live your life. You value a lot what other people have to say. You respect a lot of other people's sayings. Understand that sometimes even if someone says something which is ultimately true but doesn't feel right to you, that's not because they're lying. It's just because it's right, it's true for them, but not necessarily for you. You're not like everyone else, you know? You're not everyone's cup of tea. And what I'm hearing here is you know much more than you give yourself credit for. Oh, by a staggering amount, I'm hearing. Oh, wow. You know a lot, dear pal number 3. You are very intuitive. You know your shit better than anyone else. You know a lot of things, but you somehow just don't trust your inner guidance system. You don't trust your intuition and you don't listen to it. And then you get yourself into troubles and you're like, oh my God, if only I had listened to this nudge within me. I somehow knew already that it wouldn't end well. And your spirit guides are just like, well, we tried to warn you but you weren't listening. There's the invitation here to listen to yourself more. Even if it means that listening to yourself and feeling into yourself means feeling bad, because perhaps listening to your intuition means being honest about the fact that there are some things that need to be sorted out within yourself. Some old beliefs and some old experiences that need to be kicked out of the window. But over your intuition, understanding that your intuition is never wrong. The only thing that makes it wrong is when we're not listening to it or when we're distorting it with our beliefs. And following card, integrate your knowing, is like literally that is like you know your shit better than anyone else, and your heart plays a big role in it. The fact that it's green and that we had the lovers before, almost forgot about that already. You have a very big heart, and your guidance system, the one that sits in your heart and in your gut, is extremely acute, and I dare to say it, some of the most acute in this world. People are stunned by the level of accuracy that you're capable of living and leading your life into becoming whatever masterpiece work of art it is today, just because of how you're listening to your intuition. You just know. The stars are your guide. Realize that, accept it, and let it guide you. Okay, thank you so much, pal number 3, for having shared space with me today. That was a dope reading. Please let me know down in the comments how it went for you, because that just felt so exciting, so empowering to read. So I'd love to know what was your feeling about that. Also, while you're at it, please like the video and subscribe to support me a lot. But yeah, that is very promising, pal number 3. I'm not gonna lie. That is very exciting. Yes, there's the need for your input to cut some cords, but oh my god, what's coming ahead is beautiful. I'm gonna leave you off with this one. I'm gonna be seeing you in the next video. Till then, take care of yourself, and yeah, just have a great time. Bye.